It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, and welcome into our campsite at Isle du Bois State Park, located at Lake Ray Roberts, far north Texas. Ray Roberts is situated between Denton and Gainesville, Texas. It's about a 25,000 surface acre lake, a little over 100 feet deep at its max depth, impounded in 1987. We are going to attempt something on today's show that's pretty difficult by all standards. We're going to try to catch the main three species of game fish that swim in Lake Ray Roberts. We're going to add a couple of little twists to it. We're going to attempt to catch a white bass, a crappie, and a largemouth bass. But the thing we're going to do to make it just a little more difficult is we're going to try to catch a keeper of each species. So in order to be a keeper, the white bass and the crappie must be 10 inches minimum, and the largemouth bass must be a minimum of 14 inches long. Could prove to be difficult, but a lot of fun as well. We're also taking you around the region for your latest fishing reports from our team of reporters, get you current on your favorite lake, river, or bay in the Southwest region. So we're gonna roast s'mores over the fire, spend the night in those tents, and tomorrow morning, we're gonna see you out on Lake Ray Roberts. In the meantime, we're taking you back to the FSN studios, and Julie has your weekend planner.
Let's take a look at the salooner tables to get the most out of your time on the water this weekend. Things look promising with good conditions listed for both days. Saturday's best action will begin at 11:45 a.m. and Sunday's peak activity will start at 12:45 p.m. Our days continue to get longer with sunrise at 6:22 a.m. and sunset at 8:26 p.m. And Friday features a full moon, so evenings will be very well lit this weekend. Stay with us. We've got fishing updates from Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. Plus, I'll be back with walleye angler Gary Parsons for your Whataburger Ask the Pro question in just a bit.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 11 years running. By Academy, right stuff, low price, every day. And by Tracker Boats, fish the finest.
Boy, I ought to get bit right here. I see a big school on my graph and right on cue. There's one. Hey, welcome back everybody. We've made it out onto Lake Ray Roberts from the campsite. And here comes what I hope, there it is, species number one of the Triple Crown, the Grand Slam. There is a white bass. Just a medium-sized little fatty, but just to show you the correct species. Last time we checked in with the white bass earlier in the spring, they were all up the creeks and rivers spawning. Where are they now? They've migrated back out of those creeks, back out of those rivers, and they are situated at the mouths of bays, rivers, and creek systems, and they're on big points that slope off into the water. That's exactly the kind of water we're on right now. There are several big creeks that feed in right up here in front of us, and we're on several big, long, skinny points that run their way out into deep water. Now, you need to be fishing in somewhere between 15 and 30 feet of water, generally speaking, in order to catch the white bass this time of the year. But they are in transition from their spawn back to where they're going to set up and feed and stay all summer long, and that's out in really deep water on underwater humps, ridges, and points. Mouths of bays, creeks, and rivers on points is where you're going to find them right now. Leg number one, the Triple Crown, is in the books. Next, we try to catch a bass or a crappie. Let's see what happens next, but first, we take you to your fishing reports, and here's Brian Hughes in Texas.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by CJ's Bait Company. Now they have everything you need for catfishing, and they have May specials for our viewers, so check out cjsbait.com. With the holiday coming up, a lot of us are going to be looking for a place to fish without a lot of recreational boat traffic around us. Let's look first at Lake Pat Mays up in northeast Texas, where you'll find the crappie on the timbered channels about 12 to 15 feet deep. Using, of course, your crappie jigs or minnows to catch those fish, you should do well on Pat Mays. Catfish there are hanging out on the points with a little bit of timber in about 8 to 12 feet of water. You'll want to use CJ's on the catfish. And going out to Lake of the Pines, much the same story. Fish around the bridge and of course the timber for your crappie. Again, crappie jigs and minnows. And your catfish are on Main Lake secondary points about 15 feet deep there. And you'll use CJ's or your cut baits on your Lake of the Pines catfish. Finally, bass fishing at Lake of the Pines. Go up shallow about 6 feet, look for post spawners, use your moving baits like spinner baits, and of course the Cordell spot. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by CJ's Bait Company. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Forever Last Hunting and Fishing Products brings you this week's report. It's time to wade the shoreline, so fish the best with Forever Last G2 Wade Belt, Ray Guard wading boots, floating landing net, pliers, and more. Plus, their Real Girl gear lineup is trimmed in pink, especially for the ladies. Forever Last Hunting and Fishing Products are available at better sporting good retailers or the website on the screen. Like them on Facebook for special discounts. Well, the long Memorial Day holiday is this weekend, and the summer-long CCA Star Tournament begins and will run through Labor Day Monday. Don't go fishing without being entered. It looks like the winds will finally subside this weekend. With warming water and light winds, we could see the first surf action of the season on the upper and middle coast. On Sabine Lake, the birds continue to work mid-lake, and shrimp are attracting trout and reds over mud and shell in 6 to 7 feet of water. Anglers wading protected shorelines in East and West Galveston Bay have been catching some good trout. Croaker has been the bait of choice while fishing shell reefs throughout the bay system. Bull reds and sharks have been caught off the Freeport beachfront in 35 feet of water on sardines. Now, mid-coast back lakes and behind barrier islands remain good options. Topwater lures or soft plastics rigged on 1/8 ounce jig heads have produced. Strong winds last weekend and the first of this week have blown brown tide from Baffin Bay all the way up to the JFK Causeway. Use croaker or bait under a mauler to catch fish in off-colored water. The land cut is holding some good water for us to fish. Long Bar and Mexiquita Flats out of Port Isabel remains good for trout. The area from 3 Islands to Green Islands is also heating up. This weekend, Saturday's a 3-tide day with 2 high tides and just 1 low. Sunday has a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Swimming it across that brush pile. Got him. Oh, good crappie. That crappie's jumping like a cotton-picking bass. Hey, welcome back everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors report today. Trying to catch the Ray Roberts Grand Slam. And that is just an average size keeper crappie. Caught him on a Bobby Garland baby shad, chartreuse, and kind of a pearl color. You can see right here, we'll go ahead and pan the camera and show you. There's the key to this whole thing. That's my marker buoy. And what I did was drove out here and found one of these Corps of Engineers brush piles. They pushed up a bunch of brush before the lake was impounded in piles about the size of a school bus. They cabled it down with big steel cables and corkscrewed it into the ground with big augers, and that's where they're gonna stay. The lake filled up and it's a magnet for these crappie. We're gonna let that one go back. We're not keeping crappie today. See you, buddy. That was a jumper right there. Now what's happened is these crappie are finished spawning now. They spawned right there. About 100 yards from here is a long series of rocky bank with some little points coming out, and they spawned in about 2 feet of water, just really shallow. But when they finished spawning, they immediately migrated out and they just gang up on these brush piles. And there's a whole bunch of them scattered all over the lake. They're in lakes all over this region, as a matter of fact. Oologah up in Oklahoma is a great one. Several others. In fact, Oklahoma publishes their locations, and we'll put the website up there. It's a goofy web address. So actually, if you'll go to our members only page, we'll put some links up there and show you exactly how to get to those brush pile locations. But you can mark those waypoints on your GPS, go straight to them. That's where they're going to be. The good news is all summer long. As long as it's warm, these crappie are going to be ganged up on these brush piles in lakes all around our region. All right, species number 2, the Ray Roberts Grand Slam, is in the books. We go for a bass next. Stay with us, but right now, here's Gary Dollahan with your Oklahoma report.
As we head into this Memorial Day weekend, I hope you'll join me in remembering all of the men and women who died serving our country in the U.S. Armed Forces. I also hope you'll join me in thoughts and prayers for all those who have been impacted by the devastating storms that have been throughout this entire region, especially those in Moore, Oklahoma, with all the tragic losses there of property and lives. And even our own Barry Stokes had a tornado hop over his house recently. It's been a hectic 2 weeks in this region with lots of strange weather going on. And you know, as we go into the Memorial Day weekend, which is the official kickoff of summer, if there's one good thing about fishing, we all know it's an activity that really helps heal the soul and the mind. So I hope you do get out this weekend, have a chance to enjoy a great time outdoors with the family and friends and loved ones. Fishing remains good at many places across the state. Bass are being caught both extremely shallow now, and some are starting to move out on the point. Some of the post-spawn fish are being caught on crankbaits, and dragging that biffle bug has been extremely effective in a lot of our waters. Lots of great reports coming in on that. That's the technique where it's fished on the LaRue hardhead. The biffle bug is rigged on there, and it's reeled just like a crankbait. Concentrating at depths of 6 to 9 feet deep, really effective at this time. As I mentioned in last week's show, the crappie are still extremely active throughout the state. Lots of fish are being caught shallow from the banks as well as from boats. Great job on those guys doing that. And in last week's show, it's important to me that I correct the name of the young man who caught that big crappie. It was Eli Brumnett of Wagner, that big old 2 3/4 pound crappie. Again, great job, Eli. Here's another look at that fish for him. Memorial Day weekend, I want you to do something special for somebody special. I don't care if it's a family member, I don't care if it's a neighbor, I don't care if it's a stranger. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Hope to see you on the water.
There's one. It's a hard hit right there. Oh, good fish. Going in a circle. They fight harder when you hook them in the gill like that. All right, there's one more white bass. Stay with us. Gonna take a quick break, and I want to tell you something. We've made a change, and we've made our bonus video, our members only bonus video, much more accessible. We've moved it from the members only page to our YouTube channel. So now everybody gets access to our bonus video that gives lots more information in the actual locations where we catch our fish on each location. All you have to do is go to our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com, and at the top of the page, or actually it's down right under the main video, you'll see the YouTube logo. Click on the YouTube logo, you'll go to our channel, and you'll see the travel videos. Much more information on the bonus video. We'll be right back.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Lubes, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. And by Whataburger, just like you like it.
Good fish. All right, there it is. We did it. There is the third leg of the Grand Slam for Lake Ray Roberts. I cannot believe. Let me tell you the story of that. Welcome back, everybody. You're on your Southwest Outdoors Report. That one hit a little Strike King Series 3 crankbait. I'll show it to you closer later. I just lost 3 consecutive nice quality fish like that one in a row. And it was just breaking my heart. I thought I wasn't gonna get to do this Grand Slam because the sun's getting low, running out of time, camping with my family, so I can't stay away too long. And my heart was just pounding, the pressure was on, and I was scared to death after losing 3 consecutive fish, jumping them off. They had hit it, I'd set the hook, they'd come up and make a big jump and jump off. But that one did not. And that just makes me so happy. We accomplished it. We caught the 3 major species, white bass, crappie, and now a nice quality largemouth bass right here at Lake Ray Roberts. I want to show you, I'm going to put him back. I want to show you in the background here. They're on these little rock points, and so all I did was just tie it on a crankbait, started trolling down and casting in at little rock points down in the lower end of the lake. And sure enough, that's the 4th bite I've gotten in about the last hour and a half. All 4 of them good quality largemouth bass. The ski boat traffic is coming out, headed into the weekend, but we did it. The Grand Slam for Lake Ray Roberts. All right, let's get you some more fishing reports and let's get ourselves over to Louisiana. Here's Cajun Phil.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Southwest Louisiana Fishing Report. Tell you what, I've been on the phone for the last couple of days calling all of my guide friends all across the coast to find out what's going on saltwater wise. Let's start off with Houma, Louisiana. Captain Bill Lake said, Cajun, we're limiting out with redfish and speckled trout just about each and every day. Now, Captain Bill Lake's been throwing live shrimp under a poppet cart and doing really well. Lafitte, Louisiana. Hey, Towfield Bourgeois has it right there. I tell you what, he's limited out with redfish just about every day, but keep in mind, Towfield also has the float plane. He's flying people over to the Chandelier Islands and they're catching big old speckled trout. They're waiting. They fly in there with that float plane, they set it down, they wait, he flies them back that night for lodging and meals. Great opportunity. That's Towfield Bourgeois in Lafitte, Louisiana. As far as Delacroix goes, Captain Chris Pike's been limiting out with speckled trout every day. Chris also throwing live shrimp under a poppet cart. He's getting at Captain Jack's place, Sweetwater Marina. You want to go offshore right now? Talk to a couple of guides down there in Venice, Louisiana. They're catching amberjack and they're catching tuna and they're catching a bunch of them. It's a good time right now. What about freshwater, you say? Well, keep in mind, the brim action has now started. Talked to several guys on Toledo Bend, they're catching brim right now. Said the white perch, they're actually moving from the shallow water down to the deeper. They're starting to catch them in the treetops in 20, 25 foot of water. Also, Caney Lake, they've been catching brim and bass. Over in the Chaffalai Basin, they're catching lots of brim right now. They're catching them on anything from fly rods to crickets to plastic worm. Tell you what, friends, right now, everything's on fire. You need to come on down here to Louisiana. If you want a place to go, give old Cajun a call, 337-540-5530. I'll put you in touch with the guys, whatever area you want to go.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Jean LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Bass Boats, pure performance.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Whataburger Ask the Pro question. This week, Brady in Oklahoma wants to know, what are the basic baits someone new to walleye fishing should use? For the answer, we asked Walleye Pro Gary Parsons.
One of the things I'm going to talk about fundamentals, jigs. Go light, 16th and 1/8 ounce jigs, coupled with 6 and 8 pound test line, super lines, would be probably real desirable. Go get yourself a bottom bouncer and a slow death hook. Slow death hook is a little weird hook. It spins your night crawler as you drag it around with your trolling motor. And last but certainly not least, will be small shad style crankbaits. They're great for trolling, casting into shallow water. Those 3 fundamental, elementary types of lures will put a lot of walleyes in your boat.
Thanks, Gary. If you have a question to ask one of the pros, go to southwestoutdoorsreport.com, follow the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Now let's see who wins a new pair of Costa sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
We've made it back to the campsite, and congratulations to this week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest. He is Raymond Garcia of Brownsville, Texas. I love the fish he's showing off here. It's a 31-inch snook he caught out of the Brownsville ship channel. I'm gonna catch me one of those one of these days. He wins a free pair of Costa sunglasses, and if you'd like to do the same, all you need to do is go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. On the right side of the screen is the Costa Catch of the Week box. Click in that, and you could win a brand new pair of Costas. You can see the entire line of Costa lenses and frames by going to the front page of our website and clicking on the Costa logo right in the middle of the screen. That takes you to their site. You can see all the lens styles and frame styles, including the frame style I was wearing on this week's show, Tuna Alley. Next up, it's the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, the right gear for catching all three species here at Ray Roberts like we did today. Beginning with the white bass, you can catch them on spoons and slabs. There are three different kinds that I'm showing you in the shot here. That's a regular bomber slab, a CC spoon, jigging spoon in a chrome color, and then finally it's a crippled herring, which is just a little different variation on a jigging spoon. Next, to catch the crappie, you want to go with the Bobby Garland Mo Glow jig head. It's the best jig head I've ever seen because it makes that jig hang horizontally in the water, and on the back of that is a Bobby Garland baby shad. The chartreuse and pearl seem to work the best today. We caught more crappie than the one we showed you on the show today. And then finally, that's a Strike King Pro Model Series 3 crankbait. And that's the crankbait that we caught the bass on this week's show as well. I actually lost 3 good bass and then finally caught the one you saw on screen. Recently, I was driving down one of the main thoroughfares that cuts through one of the lower income areas of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And in one stretch of road, I counted a half dozen storefronts that housed payday and title loan companies. And I was angered and disturbed because these are loan sharks that are absolutely preying on the people in our society who can at least afford to pay their exorbitant interest rates. It gets these folks into a debt cycle that they will never get out of for the rest of their lives, and the loan sharks want it that way. Our lawmakers were unable to pass sweeping changes that would regulate the payday and title loan industry. And so now it's going to be left up to our cities and our city council people in order to pass those laws city by city. So I would encourage you to do what I want to do, and that's talk to your legislatures, talk to your lawmakers, and have them work on passing another bill in the next session that would highly regulate these loan sharks in the payday and title loan industry. I believe our culture, our society will be much better off if we'll protect these people who can least afford to pay those extremely high, unfair interest rates. Just one more thing we can do to improve the city that you live in and the state that you live in. Thanks for joining us on this week's show. We'll be back next Thursday night at 10:30 and on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Set your DVR for that time because Saturday morning's time never changes. You can also catch the latest episode of our show on the front page of our website, and you can also click on the YouTube logo just below that. Takes you to our YouTube channel. You can get all of the archived past episodes of our show and a brand new feature. We have now moved the members-only bonus videos to our YouTube channel where everyone can see those. You do not need to be a member in order to check out all the members bonus only videos that give you the information to help plan your trip, including the one here at Lake Ray Roberts that we did today. Also, you can check out our Facebook page. Click on the Facebook logo at the top of our website. You'll get lots of videos, photos, and fishing news and information that you won't see here on the television show. From Isle du Bois State Park, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.